Yes.
Awesome. So let's get started. Also, share if you are new to certifications, so we can share tons of resources with you. All right, so for those who don't know me, I'm Cecilia Brusatori. I'm an entrepreneur, a consultant, trainer, and speaker, and I'm the principal data consultant at Magna Data. And I focus on data analytics solutions, our corporate training. I have a university degree in computer science and engineering. And in South Florida, I'm a community leader and organizer. I love organizing stuff for the community. And at the personal level, I'm probably a nerd, always learning. I'm a naturalist. I love books. I'm a bookaholic. And I love outdoors adventures. And those are some of the certifications that I earned. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, and you can see that I have some Power BI there and Fabric as well. That is related to this, to this chat, to this talk. The agenda for today. So why certify? About the Power BI certification, well, I forgot to update that, but about Fabric as well. Preparation for the exam, resources, and practice. Scheduling and taking your exam. And after that, renewal, which is important as well to maintain your certifications. Just a small about LinkedIn assessment and the applied skills. This is my contact information, and those are some of the pages that I manage where you can find more resources. There it is, community.fabric.microsoft.com. That's the one. And I'm one of the leaders for the Miami Power BI Cafe if you want to join. So let's get started with this. Let me check the chat. I see Chewy. Always sharing those gifts, man. I had to learn how to use those gifts. All right, so I go back to my slide deck. We certify. So one is measure your Power BI and Fabric knowledge, right? It's a way to measure. It's not the only way to measure it, but you can have a pretty good idea of what you know. Learning something new, chances are that you will learn for sure something that you did not know before, even if you're an expert in it. I mean, oh, look at that. I didn't know that existed, you know? I mean, it's pretty cool. Stand out when you are applying for jobs. You know how when you apply for jobs, you have so many candidates, and the fact that you hold a certification for the technology that the company is using, that could help you. And I want to share, I'm not sure if the 2025 from Gartner came out, but this is from June 2024, and it's been like this for over a decade. Microsoft has been a leader in data analytics and business intelligence platform. You may say, oh, you're promoting Microsoft. Well, yes, I'm promoting it because I love the technology, but also I'm highlighting this because this means for you that the Microsoft Analytics platform is on high demand. That means that if you take certifications and if you improve your skills in these technologies, you may find more jobs. Boost your career and boost your professional profile. So when you earn the certifications, you can showcase them on LinkedIn. You can check out my profile or any of those who are into certifications. You will see that they share their credentials. So that's a way to prove that you are certified, right? And I believe this is very important, fun. It is pretty fun. If you like learning, you may find that this is fun as well. This is from the, there's a link there from Microsoft. This is the train certifications poster. Of course, I just took a part of it. You can see that there are more, but our focus could be on data and AI. Those are the ones that are available right now. And this talk is more related to the PL300. Here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but the PL300 for Power BI. Then we have the Fabric Analytics Engineer Associate for DP, called DP600. And where is the new one? Oh, here. Okay, so it's on the right. We have all that are related to this talk. The Fabric Data Engineer DP700. And here we have the badges for that. So yeah, when you take the PL300, you earn the Power BI Data Analyst, DP600. Fabric Analytics Engineer, and DP700 Data Engineer. This is the last one, the DP700. And I have the evolution of all these certifications. Of course, there are more. If you are aware of 7778, there used to be also the 779, which was related to analytics, but it was Excel. But we are focusing only on Power BI, so I left that out. So it all started with the 7778, which was more about the technology. It wasn't a role-based certification. It was more about Power BI, and it was about anything related to Power BI. When was this? 2018, 2019. So at that point, Power BI wasn't that big. It was big, but it wasn't that big as today. And you had to take an exam that contained anything that was related for Power BI. That included even things for developers. You know, that I'm not sure if everyone is familiar. When you're developing and embedding in applications, you may need some developer coding knowledge. So that was included there because it was everything. But then the role-based certifications came out, and now those technology-based, I believe they don't exist anymore that I'm aware. So everything is role-based. And the DA100 came out and was focused on the role of a data analyst. Then they called it Power BI data analyst. But this still included almost everything related to Power BI. It was an updated, an update from the 778. But then Microsoft decided, and this is great because at that time, Power BI was also growing. So the more that it grew, the more knowledge that you needed, administration, development, you know, I mean, you had to know everything. And well, I believe that wasn't fair for everyone, right? Because maybe you're a business analyst or a data analyst, and your focus is not on as a developer or things that are too specific for developers and all that. So why take that? And the PL300 came out, which was it reduced the scope and was more focused on the role of a data analyst. After that, because Power BI kept growing and Azure as well, that's when Synapse came out, and other things such as at that point was Purview. Purview came out as well. So then they created a DP500 called Azure Enterprise Data Analyst. That exam was huge. I mean, the content there was, it included Power BI, it included Synapse, what else did I say? Power BI, I mean, so many, it was huge, the list of things that you had to learn. I believe those who passed that exam, I mean, it's a respect. Because you had to study very, very hard in terms of content. But then they deprecated that one very fast. I think it lasted I'm not sure if it lasted for 2 years. So that's when and Fabric also came out. So maybe that was on time. So that's when the DP600 came out for Fabric Analytics Engineer. And this includes both Power BI and Fabric. PL300 still exists, right? After that included also data engineering as well. Then after that, DP700 came out to take the content for data engineering from the DP600 and create a whole new exam, which also replaced the 20300, I believe. That was Azure Data Engineer. So now it's a Fabric Data Engineer. I'm not sure what's going to happen in terms of being a data engineer using Azure resources. Maybe now in the future, the near future, it will be all Fabric. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about that. But this is what we have right now. PL300, DP600, and DP700. Just some fun facts about how we got to where we are right now. Just checking the chat if there are any questions. Anyone was certified in any of this? I know some of you PL300 for sure. So let's talk about the PL300. The PL300 is the Microsoft Certified Power BI Data Analyst Associate, and this certification requires only one exam. Nowadays, you may see that I believe 99% of the certifications only require one exam, but it used to be in the past that to earn a certification, you needed to pass more than one exam, 2 or 3, depending. Maybe in the future that will happen as well. I don't know. But at this point, you have to pass the PL300, the Power BI exam, to earn the Microsoft Certified certification for Power BI. And the scope for this is, as a Power BI data analyst, your experience would be in modeling, visualizing, and analyzing data with Power BI. The skills measured for this: prepare data, you see the percentage there, model the data, visualize and analyze the data, manage and secure Power BI. These percentages give you an idea of how much of that content will be in the exam. There's a link to the exam there. I'm going to open one of these just to show you. And then there is a link to the study guide. Let's check out the study guide first. Let me bring that to the screen. See that you even have all the exams on the left. You can navigate them, but you can also access this from the exam page. But you can see some information here. The truth is that Microsoft, and the team, they're doing an excellent job with all the resources. Before it was very plain. There were very few links to information. Now they are giving you so many cool links about the certification itself, how to prepare, about the scoring. You see that 700 and more is required to pass. They give you exam sandbox. Also, if you need to request for accommodation, maybe you have a special need, you can do that as well. Free assessment, this is pretty cool. We're going to talk about that a little bit. And also something to check that is very important when you are about to take an exam is the date, because these exams may be updated. Up to after 21st, they will be updating this. They won't tell you what they are dating. They will give you an idea. I believe by the end, they are going to tell you. Let me see here, you see? No changes in what? Where are those changes? So they're telling you that visualize and analyze data, no changes at all. And there are minor changes in enhanced reports for usability and storytelling. Sometimes this is because new features are coming out and they want to include them. And you know how Power BI is always changing. Fabric and Power BI always coming out with new features. So it makes sense for them to update this, but always check because, and also when they come out with a new exam, they may reduce the scope. So that's also important because maybe you want to take that exam before they change it for some reason. Or you want to wait, you say, oh no, I'm gonna wait because the content, I want to take the new exam. So that's something that you want to check. See, updates of the exam. Then they tell you about the general availability features. So rule of thumb is that they don't include those, but if that's not definitive. If there are preview features that are very important, they may cover it, but most of the time they don't. They tell you about the audience profile, and then you can see, well, skills at a glance. This is what I show you in the presentation, but then you can explore in more detail what's included. Right? So you have to focus on these aspects. This is also very good as a guide to you, so you can start studying and be sure that you cover all of these points here. Of course, this is not exhaustive. If something is not here, it doesn't mean that it won't be in the exam. Remember that, they will test your edges. So you cannot say, oh, that was not included. You need to know all aspects about being a Power BI data analyst in this case. So here, more information about that. This is and then they include some study resources. See that You can get some instructor-led or check for the learning path, the documentation. You can ask questions, get support from the community. I'm not sure why Power Query community, why the Power BI or the Fabric doesn't show here. Well, I haven't explored these links here. Then the Microsoft Learn and the readiness zone. This is a great resource to study. So, all right, so back to my presentation, then let's check out the link to the exam. This will be very similar for all exams. So that's why I'm covering for the PL300. But see that when you go to the certification, it says that I have to renew mine. But see here, it gives you some information. Again, this is the experience, the role for the certification, then the level. You will see intermediate and you will wonder, oh, but I'm just starting or I'm a beginner in Power BI. Yeah, you can totally pursue this certification. Maybe it will be harder for you because you are also learning. For someone who's been working with Power BI already, maybe easier to grab the knowledge, but you can totally do it. This is the recommended. The role for a data analyst, if you're not a data analyst, as well. I mean, you can learn all this technology and what it takes to be a data analyst, and it's super fun. Renewal frequency, 12 months. See that, well, here you have some shortcuts, but it talks about the certification. Then it tells you, this is always check this, when the exam is updated, and then they give you the learning path. So this is the Microsoft Learning Path for this exam. Of course, you can go to Microsoft Learn and try to look for yourself, but if you follow this one specifically, you have all you need here. You don't have to look for the specific modules to follow the study guide. So it is easier if you go here and just take the learning path for the certification that it was ready for you. Then you have this practice test assessment. This is, I believe, the last 2 years this showed up. This is a great resource because let me tell you, the questions here, of course, the format are not exactly like the exam because the exam has more interactive interface, right? So these are very plain. These are more like multiple choices or things like that. But the type of knowledge that they test gives you an idea if you're ready or not. So you could take this practice test to measure the general level that you have and see if you pass the test. I don't know if it's a 90% that you need. You may be prepared to take that exam. If you don't, you may need to see where you fail and things that you did not know and read about those, because they tell you if you answer wrong, then they tell you where to read about this. And this is free. And I'm not aware of any limits on how many times you can take this. Then you have the lunchbox. Lunchbox. Am I hungry? No. The sandbox. If you haven't experienced the Microsoft exams before, it is very cool that you try this. It's not specific for Power BI, it's for any Microsoft certification, and they make you experience how the interface of the for the Microsoft exam works. So, oh, this is a case type scenario. So this is how it looks like. This is where you find the things. This is how you answer. Then the multiple choice, the drag and drop. So they give you the different type of questions that you may find. So you are more comfortable and you know what to expect during the exam. And this is the exam readiness, I believe. Watch video, prep videos. Well, you have most of the things that you need, you have them on the exam page. They are making an excellent job with all this. Then if you want to schedule, you can see the price for this, to renew the certification, exam replay. So we're going to cover this, but you have so many resources here. Let me check the chat. No questions? Questions. Manage and secure Power BI. Is this related to Power BI? Tenant settings, it could be. We have to read about that. Let me see. Let's go back to the page. If we go to, this is the content, so probably that will be here. Maybe it's more related because they keep reducing the scopes. When I took this certification, what you're saying was included. So probably now is more about this module. Create and manage workspaces. Those require some administration, right? Some tenant settings. See, manage semantic models. But it's the content here is was very reduced. Nomita is asking if this the beginner's level Power BI certification. Well, this covers everything. It is if you go, let's go to the first module, right? If we go to get started with analytics, see that it covers everything from the basics, even from the basics as a data analyst, right? What is data analyst, the roles in data, then get started building with Power BI. So you can see that this is very basic in Power BI, and then it goes all the way to more advanced things. So if you are a beginner, this is, I mean, preparing for the exam is a great journey for you because you will have all the resources. What I said before, it was the exam said the level intermediate. That would be ideal. If you already know Power BI, it would be easier for you because these kind of things, you will pass them very fast, right? I mean, it's like, okay, I already know this. Well, maybe this is new Copilot for Power BI. But you can see the content right here. So if you're a beginner, you can learn while you prepare for the certification. And you may feel ready. And many people have passed the certification, even being a beginner. So it's up to you. I mean, you know yourself, you know how you learn, how much it takes for you, what you need, if you need hands-on experience, if you're okay with following this type of material, if you need a trainer, it would be the specific situation, right? So these are all the information for the PL300. Let's go to the, you're welcome, Namita, DP600 here. So the certification earned would be the Fabric Analytics Engineer Associate. And this again requires only one exam. And the profile would be that you should have subject matter expertise in designing, creating, and deploying enterprise scale data analytics solutions. Skills measures, maintain and data analytics solutions, prepare data, implement and manage semantic models. And see that the focus here is a lot on preparing data. So you need to really work on that aspect. Link to the exam, and let's check out the study guide for this certification. I think this one was changing. No, it doesn't have a date for update yet. But you can see here what it takes. Some security and governance. Then we have analytics development lifecycle. See that it's including a lot of Power BI as well as Fabric as well. XML endpoints. This is a bit more advanced. So if you are not into Fabric yet, or you haven't been working, I will start with the Power BI exam. If you come from the Power BI side. This still includes some DAX. Some people are afraid of DAX. They say, oh, I don't want to take the exam because of DAX. And the studies resources as well. It also includes lakehouses, data warehousing. And I will skip the rest because it is very similar to all the Microsoft exams. It's just what it changes is only the content for the exam. And now the DP700 is the last exam, which is the hot exam right now. And this gives you the Fabric Data Engineer Associate. This is even more technical. It requires only one exam. As you can see, the profile here is subject matter expertise with data loading patterns, data architecture, and orchestration processes. So probably this exam will focus more on data factory, maybe on notebooks, Spark. See the skills measures here: implement and manage an analytics solution, ingest and transform data, monitor and optimize an analytics solution, and see that the content is very balanced. Here we have the link of the exam, and let's check out the scope of this exam as well. See, yes, Victor. Ah, okay, I thought you were going to ask something. No, I was going to take it. When was this? I was going to take the DP700, I believe, when it was a beta, but then I had a health-related situation and I couldn't take it that same day. And the scope was even more, I think. Now I see it was it was simplified. No, I saw that the content for this exam was included in the P600. So they take it out and now it's here in more depth in the DP700. So when I checked and I was preparing for the DP700, I noticed that I already knew all that, and you know, I was prepared to take it. But I'm going to take it very soon. Did you, Chuy?
I'm scheduled for end of May, so I really need to start studying.
Awesome. And it's a good time because now there is a challenge going on for
Oh
those
yeah,
who are,
that too.
right?
Yes.
And you may win one of the free vouchers. Well, you attended Fabcom, so probably you already have the voucher.
Yeah,
So.
I already got a voucher, so I'm already scheduled and everything. So I just need now the commitment to get back to
Awesome.
study.
Well, maybe you want to join my study group.
I will do for sure. That will be great.
Right?
Yes, please.
I would love to have you.
Good. Thanks.
I will share information for that after.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited. I mean, to see so many people scheduling these exams. See here, we can see life cycle management in Fabric. There is also version control. There is security and governance as well. Orchestration of processes, notebooks, as I mentioned before, ingesting data. And we also have real-time analytics here. So you can see CAQL for Custo. So those who, I mean, I see people maybe, I don't want to say struggling because it's not really a struggle. It's something that many don't have experience with, is real-time analytics, but that's something that you can learn when you study for the exam. And because you don't know one of the topics, it doesn't mean that you won't pass, you know? So just give it a try. Don't be scared of this content. Do your best. That's the important part. So how to prepare? I see Alex is writing something. How do we prepare for this? I would recommend that you have business intelligence foundations, analytics foundations. That would be super recommended because then it's more about knowledge transfer, right? And how to do what you want to do with the different technology. So probably you were using something different, some other technology, and now you come to Power BI and Fabric, and you only have to learn how to do this in Fabric. I mean, star schemas are not a new thing. Data warehouses are not a new thing. So if you have business intelligence foundations, you already know all those things. I mean, it's recommended. It doesn't mean that you won't be ready to pass the exam if you don't know. You can learn. It will be up to you. I'm just mentioning the things that are recommended and will make easier to prepare. I see. I got the chat finally. Oh, I see Alex commenting in the chat, studying for the DP600. Well, awesome. Oh, so you will have to take again the DP600? Ouch. Well, I mean, it's fun, right? So yeah, the Microsoft exams, they expire in 1 year. It used to be 2 years, now it's only 1 year. But the good thing is that you can renew every year, just passing an assessment, and the assessment is free. So that's a good one. You just have to remember, because I believe that for Alex, this happened to you as well, that maybe you forgot to renew it. It's not that, oh, right? Estudiar es muy divertido. Yes, it is. It is super fun studying. Experience with data analysis and or data engineering also will make your life very easier when preparing for this exam. Find what works for you. This is very important. I mean, there is not a unique way to prepare for these exams. So maybe for you with the Microsoft Learn, that's enough. You just go through the material, do the labs, and that's it. And then you go and pass. That was enough, or that was enough for you to feel confident. And that works. For others, they need a study group, or study with someone, or study in a class. Maybe you need to go to a class, an instructor-led. So find one of those. What worked for you is okay. You can use some blogs from everywhere or some videos. I have a thing that I like to write when I study. So now I'm not really writing much because so many things are coming out from Microsoft. I'm using something that I learned from one of the study group members using OneNote. So what I do is I create a OneNote in Microsoft in 365, and I create the different chapters from Microsoft Learn, and then I grab what I want to remember. I copy and paste it there, the important concepts that I want to remember. And just by doing that, it helps me. Maybe I don't go back and read it. It's just the fact that I want to extract important information from what I'm reading. I have to focus. Okay, what do I want to remember from this? I want to remember this. Okay, I copy and paste that on OneNote. And the fact that I did that, maybe that was enough for me to remember it. So different ways to practice. See? Options, again, includes instructor-led. For now, official preparation includes Power BI and the P600. I haven't seen, I'm a MNCT, and I haven't seen the DP700 material yet. I'm not sure if it's been offered. I have to recheck. But those are paid. Only be sure that you go to the official ones, because yes, you can get a course for Power BI and or for Fabric and learn a lot. But the thing is that these instructor-led ones are focused on the certification. So the content will be tailored to the certification, and even the questions and the labs and everything. So that's why I suggest that you go to those official ones, because of the content. You can prepare on your own. Again, a combination of different things, videos, see the tons of material that you have on the exam page. See, the readiness zone has a lot of videos, so you can mix and match different things. And another option would be a study group. So you can join a study group or create a study group and study in a group. Use a guide. That's my suggestion, that you use a guide. A guide could be the exam outline that I shared before, where the content was. So you can maybe copy and paste that in a document and go and be sure that you highlight or you mark that you completed or you read about that specific topic. And something that I used to do before, I love books. I'm a bookaholic, I mentioned at the beginning. So I liked buying the certifications group books. And I grabbed the index there and I cover all the topics as well. That's a good guide. Be sure that you cover all the topics, including Microsoft Learn. If it's in Microsoft Learn path, the exam path, it will be in the exam. Even if you think this is irrelevant or this is very specific, that won't be there. If it's there, they want you to know it. So be sure that you read about it and you learn about it. Do the labs also. If you follow the Power BI ones, they have labs that you can launch. It's like a virtual machine, so you don't have to practice in your own computer. And they have all the instructions and everything, but they give an environment. And the thing is that maybe you cover all the Microsoft Learn content, the chapters, and you think, okay, this is all. No, when you do the labs, there is extra information there. That's what I found out, because sometimes I used to skip them, but then I started like doing it like a long time ago, right? I started doing it, and I was like, okay, this was not in the Microsoft Learn, this specific thing that they made me do, and it might be included in the exam. So I mean, at least I would try to do the labs. Official exam books, Microsoft Press. Let me show you. Is this working? Yeah, these two are available, and it's the same author, is Daniel Masliuk. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Daniel Masliuk. He's amazing writing these books. I had the PL300 and the 70778, and I love the books. And he has exam tips, questions, resources, blogs. Actually, that's how I found out a lot about many of the cool bloggers. I think I found out about Reza at one of his books, because yes, I remember it was specifically about when to use Power Query or when to use something else, and he has a blog about it that he included in the book. And I remember that the blog said, think about having different knives when you cook. You could cut something with the same knife, or you could use specific knives for specific situations. So I remember it was because of that. So see, I mean, you may find super useful information. If you're into books, these are the official books. Of course, they get outdated very fast, again, because Microsoft is always releasing new features all the time. But the basics are there. You just have to be sure that you update the concepts that are important. Going back to the presentation. And then you have, of course, the DP600 as well. DP700, I checked and I couldn't find it. And tons of free material and paid material. Free trusted resources, these are my resources. You may have more or different resources than myself, but at least the ones I recommend the most are the Microsoft Learn, always first. These are the 300, DP600, 700. And then if you want to go more in depth, you can go to the Microsoft documentation. This is actually very cool. I cannot copy and paste. Still not exam readiness for DP700? No, we don't have? I thought we had for that. Well, maybe they are on the way. So yeah, Chui is asking if there are still not exam readiness for DP700. That is a very cool resource. Oh, I put it here. Okay, let me see. You're right. No, I couldn't find it. Let's check out.
Там тебе email должен был с кодом прийти, дай мне его.
Microsoft. I think someone has the microphone open. I'm gonna. Victor, are you asking something, or it's just okay? If you're not asking, I will mute. No assessment for. Okay, let's check it out. DP700. Let's go to DP700 and check that out. So for the DP700, we have, oh, that's right, we don't have assessment yet. See, it's pretty new. Okay. And no readiness zone. Oh, that, okay. Well, yeah, I did not remember. Well, when I was preparing this, I did. I didn't see it, so that's why it's not there. But this is pretty cool. If you go to the readiness zone, see, these are videos. This is an introduction, but for every skill measure, remember the skill measures here, you will have videos. So next episode, see, for preparing, they have 3 videos for preparing data. So they will cover that, prepare data. You can watch the videos. They are very, very cool. So if you are one of those people who need to watch someone explaining concepts, go to the readiness zone. But I'm pretty sure that it is coming for the DP700. So practice not really, okay. but take advantage of the ones that we have already if you're taking any of these two. And then outside of Microsoft, these are my resources that I trust 100% and I always recommend. Reza from Radacat, he blogs about, I don't know, he blogs about everything that there's out there. So if there is a new feature or old feature, he blogs about so many things. So check that out, because if you have a question, you may find it that he already blogged about that. Then Gynecube. If you're new to Power BI, check these guys because they are very popular and super fun. All the content that they have is super cool. Corval, she's amazing, especially in DAX. When I started learning Power BI, it helped me a lot with DAX. And she had something that she used to do a video about each DAX function. So I was like, okay, I'm confused. How do I use this function? Why is it different from this other, blah, blah. And she would have a video and she would show you how to use it with examples and everything. So if you want to learn DAX basics, that's a good resource. SQL BI guys as well. I mean, they are the masters of DAX. But they not only have things about DAX, they have also things about data modeling. So if you are learning this about data modeling, which is very important when it comes to Power BI and Fabric as well, but most related to Power BI, they have even a free course, the basics. They have a free data modeling course and they have a free DAX, introduction to DAX course. Then if you want something more advanced, you have to pay, but you know that you are in good hands. So again, I mean, these are free resources, but all these people also have paid resources. So once you are comfortable and you like them, you may end up paying for those advanced resources. And Chris Webb, that he is very geek about the topic, so he really digs in depth about things. I really love his blog. He's super technical. He goes in depth. I see some comments here. La P en Fabric es de paciencia. P in Spanish, that would be patience. Fabric. Okay, so how to practice? We have the Microsoft Knowledge check by the end of each module. So let's see the example. See, for example, this is the end of the semantic models. So you have some knowledge check that you can do, and you get the answer if you answer correctly or not very quick. That's a way, I mean, a cool way to practice. You check the knowledge that you just learned when you completed that module. Then you have hands-on. You could use those Microsoft Learn Labs that I mentioned from, I only saw those in Power BI. Probably those are, I mean, the only ones who were implemented, but see, this is an example from a module and you can launch the lab. It will give you a virtual machine. It will be like being in a different computer and everything is ready for you to practice, all that you need, and it has all the steps that you need to complete. So see, access the environment and all the instructions that you need. That's a way to practice. Again, I believe this is only available for the PL300. Not sure if this is coming for Fabric. It would be super cool, but maybe it is more expensive for Microsoft to implement. So maybe that's the reason why we do not have this. Then we have the 365 E5 developer subscription. I'm going to share this, but I think they changed this program and now you have to qualify. Before it used to be that anyone could get this. And what they give you is a tenant and with I think 25 licenses of an E5, and that included Power BI Pro. And now I'm not sure if they include something else, but you could create a tenant and everything and use it for practice. If you don't have access to Power BI at work, or you cannot use the one from work, or it's very limited, you could use that one. Okay, what else do we have here? You could use a trial for Fabric or even Power BI. You know that you have, it was 60 days at least, where you could test all the functionalities. Well, many of the functionalities. Some of them are not available for trials, but it will work for what you need to learn for these exams. You can buy official labs as well, or even create the resources in Azure. Maybe you want to spin a capacity for Fabric. If you're aware of capacities, that's what you need when you are using Fabric. And those go from F2 to more expensive things, but they charge you by the hour. And I use them to practice for the DP 500. I remember, and I spent like $10, something like that. So it's not that expensive if you really need to. So I managed to do all the labs spending that much. Just be sure that you pause the capacity if you create one of those, because if you forget to pause them, then the charges keep going. So be sure that you pause the capacity when you finish, or even delete it if you're not going to use it anymore. Then you have these practice tests from MeasureUp. Let me show you. Just open one. I checked, and only the P600 and PL300 are available, and see that they have different options. I saw that they even now they're offering like one-time practice test for $7, something like that. But I believe that I would buy the 30 days access if I'm buying this, or the 60 days, because the difference is not that much, right? But they're very good when you want to test yourself, especially for the speed, right? Because one of the things with the Microsoft exams is that you have a specific time. Maybe you have 100 minutes. It used to be variable depending on the type of question that you got. But now I think all of them are 100. Just check. It will say there when you start. But you have 100 minutes to complete the exam, and you have to be fast. So these practice questions simulate a real exam, and you can practice only the questions. You can select different features there, but you can practice the questions just to test your knowledge, or you can practice as an official exam. So you will be timed and all that. I mean, the experience would be very similar. So I find it that is very useful. I only purchased this long time ago once, and it really helped me when I first started taking certifications. Now I don't buy them anymore because I found other ways to practice. But if I had this for free, I would totally take it. But see, this has, it tells you how many questions they have. I think it's 100 something. At the beginning, when they came out with this practice test, it was very poor. It was like very few questions, but now they have, I see that they have a lot. You need to drop, Alex, okay. Thank you for joining, Alex. Hope to see you soon. I haven't read the whole message because it's very long, but I will read after I finish. And then, well, you have this for the DP600, PL300, but if you can afford that practice test, and you feel that you could use that type of environment, I strongly recommend that one is the official practice test. Well, this is all, you see the name, DA100. These are questions that we prepare when we were taking the Power BI exam with the study group. So you will find there more than almost 200 questions, I believe. Of course, those are not official, and they were created by students, by members. Maybe you find it useful. It's a report that we created where you can just see the question and then show the answer or not. That's something. And then you have these guys from, well, actually, I think it's one guy because it's Rishi, who created this website. I'm not sure if he has a team or what. It used to be very plain page. To me, it was simpler. Now it has so many functionalities that I get lost. But he had free exam questions there. Now I see that he implemented something with tokens, that you can get some free tokens, and if you want more, you have to buy tokens. I don't know how that works, but check it out. Maybe you find how it works and you find it useful. But it was a very good resources when we needed practice questions. And this is a tip. Be sure that you play enough with the different functionalities, the different features, so you can especially familiarize with the terminologies, right? And the steps applied and potential errors, because you will be tested for those. Maybe they ask you something like, I'm making this up. This is not something from the exam, but what if I ask you, okay, how do you create a measure? And then I give you some steps. Okay, you click on the name of the table, and then another step will be you click on the ribbon, blah, 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 or you click on the button that is found. So I give you those steps, and I give you steps that are not related, but could be. If you did not try that, how would you remember those things? Or how will you remember easily? So it is easier if you actually do it, and then, oh yes, you go here or there, and that's how you create it. Of course, if you don't know this and you open Power BI, maybe it's very intuitive to find it. But in the exam, you don't have that possibility, and you will have to remember by memory. So try that. And also potential errors, break things. So if you are tested for an error, you know how that happens and how to fix it. So that's a tip from me. Study group. Well, about study groups, I think that's a great way to learn. People get together. There's no specific format required. You will find that some people create a study group and someone is teaching every session, or maybe they just sit down in person and they just go through material, or they just study by themselves and then they ask questions to each other, or they share or discuss. There's not format. So if you find a study group or if you create a study group, why? Because of accountability, commitment, support, success, and fun. I mean, some people get bored studying alone. So you can feel and you can learn so much more when you are with other people. But if you're the type of person who do better alone, that works. You can join an existing study group. Go to the community and, hey, I'm looking for a study group, or hey, I want to create a study group. Who wants to join? You know, again, go to the community. This is the best resource. Or you can check out my mastermind study group promotion. But yeah, I used to run this for the community, and now I launch a paid version for this. I want to share it just in case you are interested. But I have this exclusive and application-only cohort, and it's only designed for those professionals that are preparing for Microsoft certifications. And here are here's the description of it. So this is not a passive learning. It's not about sitting down there and just listening to someone explaining the different topics. No, this is where people actually do the work. They present, they do homework, they have assignments, we have challenges, quizzes, we have discussions, we have mentorship, and we keep each other accountable. So that's what it is included in the study group. So if you're interested, you can go there. We are going to start first with the DP700, and we run that on May and June. So if you want to join, applications are accepted until April 21st. So let's go and check how it's about to schedule your exam. Let's talk a little bit about this. You can purchase this if you go to the website. Where is the website? We had one open, I believe. Yes, here it is. If you go to the website, let's see a certification that I don't have. DP700 exam. If we go to the website, see that here, schedule exam. This is where you schedule your exam. So this is a price. You won't pay right away. I mean, you go through different steps. You need a Microsoft Learn account for this. And you can buy it from them, or you can go to this official website that is called My Hub and look for deals. Sometimes they have specials, but they have some cool, where is it? Microsoft. Wait, here it is. get started. Microsoft. Okay. Oh, all right. So they have these two offers here. You can buy the exam for 165, or you can find this exam replays, and this includes only one. There used to be one that had 3 or 2 chances. So this includes an extra chance in case you don't pass the exam. If you pay for this bundle, you get another chance to get to take the exam. And the second one would be the same, but they also include that official practice test. All right. So if you are one of those who feel more comfortable to have a second chance, because you say, okay, it's 165 for one exam, but it's 230 for 2 chances. So maybe I feel more comfortable if I know that I don't have to pay 300 and something if I did not pass the first time. So those, I mean, I bought this in the past, and the truth is that I didn't need the second try, but it gave me peace of mind. That's how it worked for me. It was a psychology thing. So I went there and was like, okay, it's okay if I don't pass this because I have an extra one. And also keep an eye on this website. I don't know if they have a newsletter. Probably they do, because sometimes they come out with special offers. And maybe they say, oh, special offer once a year, right? They have a special offer and they say 200 for this bundle. So keep an eye on it. I think it's a good one. And with the practice test, probably is the best price. So, I mean, don't go and buy things for separately. If you're going to buy the practice test, do the math and see if you can afford this one. That's a way. Direct purchase or promos. Something else that I would recommend, if you're not aware of this, many times, the last years at least, Microsoft has been giving away free vouchers or even discounted vouchers to take your exam. So keep an eye on things like this developer or even those Microsoft annual events, such as Microsoft Ignite, Microsoft Build. Those are free if you, well, in the past, they were free if you attended online. So the fact that you were registered for the event gave you a voucher to take certain exams. So they will tell you which exams, but they give you a voucher and they say, okay, with this one, you can take the DP700, the PL300, the AI, how was it, 201? I don't know, the artificial intelligence one. I mean, they mentioned like maybe 9 exams that you can take with that voucher. In the past, they gave you a number, a code for the voucher. Now is embedded in your profile. So, or at least most of the times. So when you go there, it will show up automatically for you to choose to use it. I see Chu is saying that was offered during the FabCon last week, see? DP600 or DP700. So for those who attended the FabCon, check, because you may have a voucher for free for those fabric exams. So, and now if you are taking the DP700, there is this, if you missed the FabCon, be sure that you register for this event that is going on right now, because I don't know how, see that I have most of it, but I don't know how you earn it. I did not find, I think they are raffling like 50,000 free vouchers, something like that. I'm not sure, you have to check how this works this time, because in the past it was given to everyone who complete the challenge. I'm not sure if now the scope is reduced for a weekly raffle or something, but it's a good chance for you to get a free voucher to take the exam. And then decide if you want to do the test in person or online. Different experiences. Personally, I prefer in person, because the online you are watched more closely right? And you have to prepare the environment. You have to have nothing around you. No one can be in the room with you. And they will check because you have to have a webcam and they will be watching you all the time. So you cannot have maybe a clock or something. You know, they are watching things closely. And if you're moving your eyes, you know, where are you looking at? Or if you're doing this, don't cover your mouth. And it's like, to me, I mean, having someone watching like that, it makes me more anxious. And also think about if you have interruptions, right? Maybe you have a dog that will start barking, or a neighbor, or whatever. I mean, something that you cannot control. So, or maybe you don't have any of that. Or maybe even though that's the best option for you or the only option for you, it's just different. I mean, I go in person and I just relax because I don't have to take care of the environment. I don't have to remove everything from my table or walls or whatever. Some people had to take the exams in their bathrooms because that was the only room that they would approve. You will be talking to someone. I did take online, so I had both experiences, and I still prefer in person. That's me. So you have to decide which one works for you. And something important too is picking the date and time. So when you go in person, you will be more like preference if you want to wake up early or if you work, if your brain work better at noon. I don't know. So if you go in person, that would be it. But if you do online, think again about interruptions. When I did online, I used to take these exams at midnight because at that time I don't have anything happening around me. I don't have neighbors, most likely, right? I don't have anyone like bum bum, you know, with the cars. Will be able. Yes, I can share the slides, Nomita. Yeah, ping me and I will share you the slides with you. So keep those things in mind when you are picking the dates, and also you will have to select the different days and see what's available, right? Maybe there is nothing available for the noon today, but yes, tomorrow. Also, what was it? Yeah, weekends, you can take on weekends. I mean, you have different options depending on the testing center or if you're doing online. Some testing centers have a reduced window for exams. I found one of them has until 2 p.m. for exams. Maybe they need a room for later. Just choose, I mean, the different options. You can reschedule if you cannot make it. I did in the past reschedule exam a few times. And this also works when you have an expiration date. Maybe they give you a voucher and you have to schedule your exam by certain day, right? For example, Chui, I think you have to schedule by 6th of June, something like that. Okay, so you schedule the exam, and then if you cannot make it, you can reschedule it. I'm not sure if there is like a limit of reschedulings. I believe not. There is though like a limited time. I mean, I think it's up to 24 hours or 48 hours. You have to check. Same for canceling. If you did not, I mean, if you used a voucher, I believe if you cancel, I haven't canceled a voucher, but I believe if you cancel, you lose the money. I'm not sure if you cancel a paid exam. If you pay for the exam, maybe they reimburse you. I'm not sure about that, but you can cancel. These are the options. See, when you go in there, select exam options at the test center, online at my home or office. And this one, I believe this one is for Microsoft employees, maybe. I'm not sure. The day of the exam, recommendations, don't be late. Have enough time, especially if you are at home or at your office taking this online, because you could run across problems such as connection issues or whatever it is sometimes. And something that they make you do if you are going to do the test online, they give you a few links to test your computer, if your computer is suitable, and also if the connection and everything, so they can approve your computer for the exam. And they do this again when the day of the exam. So And they, if you do online, they make you take pictures of your surroundings. You will have to follow on your phone, and they will say, take a picture to your right, or I mean, of your desk from your right, of your desk from your left, from the front, so you have to take pictures. And then after you connect, maybe they can ask you to show me under your table, show me what's behind you, show me, you know. So those things, so don't be late, that's the thing. Have your ID ready. They will ask for your ID, both in person and online. Hydrate, eat, bathroom before your exam. I'm not sure if you can interrupt or if you can even stop the clock, or if the clock keeps running, but just in case, be sure that you do all that before your exam. Some people said that you are able to have a bottle of water when you're taking the exam, maybe without the label. I don't know. It wasn't my experience. Some people said that they couldn't. So better do those things before. And also, if you have water, I mean, maybe that will make you go to the bathroom. So I don't know, whatever works for you. Just be sure that if you can, do it before the exam, not in the middle. Testing center, you will have a locker assigned for your items. You cannot take anything with you inside. You may ask for earplugs if you need those, and that could be useful because if you go to a testing center, it could happen that more people are taking the exam with you. Sometimes the exams are just using your mouse and clicking on selecting things, but for some exams, because those exams could be Microsoft or something else. So people could be taking exams where they are required to write. And it happened to me. There was a person who was writing a lot, and those keywords were super old and they would be so noisy, and I was stressed. And listening to that was so disruptive to me. So maybe earplugs could work. And they may give you, if not, you may ask for it, something to write on. Sometimes you are one of those people who needs to write things to get to an idea. So online, prepare the environment and connect at least 15 minutes prior. I know, is anyone new to the certifications? Is this useful for you? Because I'm going through all the basics. Hey, Wilson, I see that you connected. Awesome, Reina. Okay, so this may be useful for you. Type of questions. This is where the sandbox comes handy, and this is what I described before. If you go to the sandbox here, if you go to this, you will have an environment with fake random questions. They could ask you about the weather, about the colors, about the dogs, whatever. Just funny questions, just for you to experience the interface of the exam. So you can see how the drag and drop works, how the use case works, the different tabs that you have. So when you are in the exam, you are familiar with the environment, you know where to find things, you know how to mark a question for later, because you can do those things. You can, maybe you are reading a question, don't spend so much time in one question. If you cannot answer that question right away, mark it for later and you come back to it after. Because if you really think through every question, you will lose all your time and you may fail just because you ran out of time, not because you did not know the content. So that's important. You have the ability to mark questions to review later. And at the end, the platform will show you which question you marked, and you can select to which ones you will have to, you can review. Case studies, those you cannot go back, and they will tell you. You enter in the case studies and you cannot go back to them once you answer. So for those, there will be a warning, and you cannot come back to those. So maybe your time may be spent better for those, right? Once you selected the answer, you cannot go back and correct that. Examples of questions are multiple choices, case studies, drag and drop, build a list or reorder the list. They will give you a list. What are the steps for this? So they can give you a list for that. Matching questions, right? I mean, active screens, labs. I don't think I've seen labs in any of these exams. In the past, I've seen them, not for these ones, but those were included in the past. Not sure if they will come back. Exam duration question types. What was this? Let me check. I thought this was the same. Oh, okay. See, I see. Well, okay, you can check these links after. What did I miss? Type of questions. Again, going back to the questions and those tips I told you about, not spending so much on each question. Always read the question before you answer, because you will have maybe an introduction and they will tell you, this is a company, I don't know, this is a restaurant chain that sells this and this and that. They have a team, a BI team, an IT team, and they have this and this. So they have like a whole paragraph of details. And then they ask you a question and you didn't really need to to read the whole thing. Maybe you can read the question and scan for the information that you need, right? So they give you the whole background and then they ask you a question. So be sure that for each question, you read the question first so you know what to look. Because again, this is time, this is time and you need to answer fast. If you don't have the time, you can go and read everything that you want, understand, and then the answer. But to make it fast, read the question, go and check the details that they give you. About renewals, this is a free thing. See that? Well, you saw when I opened my exam. Where is the exam? When I opened the Microsoft certification for Fabric. Let's go to the other one. See, I'm ready to renew. So when your anniversary is approaching, actually 6 months before your anniversary is approaching, they will let you renew your certification. And this is free, see? And you can take this as many times as you need. And these are plain questions. It's not like the exam. You can do this open book at home. So be sure that you don't miss this, because, and don't be intimidated. This is super easy to pass. Try it. If you fail, you can try again. So you keep your certification active. And this is free again. So that is new. That was implemented a few years ago. Then you have this LinkedIn skill assessment, which is very similar to that experience, to the experience of the renewal. Maybe it's even simpler. I took this a few years ago. I find it that it boosts your LinkedIn profile, and it's free. So if you can take this and pass it, it's an extra, maybe it's even an extra practice that you can get. Go to Microsoft Skills Assessment, look for the skill, and you will see that there is a LinkedIn skill assessment available to you. Not everything has it. Maybe I haven't checked for Fabric. I don't think Fabric has it. I have to check. So that's something free. And also, I mean, this is always to boost your professional profile, especially on LinkedIn. So that's how this helps. It's not related to the certification, but it's something that is available and something that I added today. I really didn't have tried this because I'm more into certifications, but this is very cool. These are called the Applied Skills Credentials, and those are on-demand assessments. They require for you to complete a series of tasks in an interactive lab experience. I have launched them and I think they are pretty good. I haven't completed them because of time, but they give you the environment and they tell you, okay, you have a team for BI and you have 2 data analysts. I'm just making this up, right? You have 2 data analysts and then you have the team for data engineering and you have these stakeholders who are asking for this and this and that, and you need to come out with a solution, blah, blah. So it's a fake scenario, and then they make you develop those things in the lab experience. Once you complete that and pass all the requirements, this is completely free. You can go and check it out. They will give you a credential for that. See, if we go to this is the link to this. I think I haven't really explored, but Rose credentials. But you can check it out. I found it that it was very time consuming to me when I was preparing the exams. That's why I did not follow them. And you don't really need it, I believe. But if you want real hands-on, it's very cool. I mean, maybe not that helpful, maybe not really needed for certifications, but yes, for your working skills, right? For your real experience. Maybe you want to feel more confident for a project, or even when you're looking for a job, you know that you actually did this real world scenario thing, and you want to go through these applied skills. And also you can showcase that credential, again, boosting your professional profile. You can showcase that you earn a credential for that. And before we finish and chat about this, and afterward, and this is something from me, don't wait until you feel 100% prepared for this, because chances are that we never feel prepared. There is always something that, oh no, I need to learn more about this or that. I need to check this, you know? So go, and when you are almost there, or even at the beginning, as a goal, set the date of the exam. Say, okay, today is April 8th. I want to take this exam by May 1st. So go and schedule that, and that will push you to sit down and prepare for the exam. Because while you don't schedule the exam, you have no rush, nothing. Of course, there are circumstances in life. I mean, that happens. But this is psychology, right? If you have the exam schedule, you will push yourself. So don't wait until you 100% prepare. During the exam, keep track of the time you have left. You will have a time there that will tell you how many minutes you have. So keep track of that. It's okay to fail the exam. And I like this first attempt in learning. It's okay. I mean, maybe just it's your first time. Don't beat yourself up, you know. It can happen. You just go and take it again. And failing a Microsoft exam or any certification, it does not mean that you don't know or you are not an expert in this, you know, or in the subject that you're in the role that you're taking the certification. It's just that maybe you did not know a specific topic that they ask, or maybe you ran out of time and you did not pass because of that. I mean, so many variables. I mean, it doesn't mean that you don't know. You're amazing. Everyone is amazing. So don't feel bad if you don't pass the exam. Go and take it again. And remember this again, read the question first, information given after. Go to the community for support, for help. And also, if you pass the exam, hey, I passed the exam, and people are cheering up, you know, like, hey, congratulations, welcome to the club. So go to the community for help, for support, for sharing, for discussing, or for even yelling, screaming out of the balcony that you passed the exam. And this is very important, and this is something that someone said when I was ranting about not passing my first Microsoft exam because it was too specific. And this person said, the exam is not just about what you know, it's about what Microsoft wants you to know. So that's very important. So that's why you need to stick to the Microsoft learning path for the certification exam. You need to cover that because they want you to know it. That's why it's there. And you got this. Best of luck with the exam. And again, here are some resources. I'm going to share with you all these links. Be sure to check out my mastermind study group if you want to join us. And thank you so much. And I open it for chatting. Tell me your experiences. Tell me how you liked the presentation as well. And when you're taking the exam, if you feel confident. If you passed an exam, which exam are you interested in?